money is an illusion. And I'm sure you've probably heard this before, but not in this light. This is a different explanation, okay? This is how money works. This is all the money in the entire universe, okay? All the money in the world. It doesn't go bigger, it doesn't go smaller. And that's why money is an illusion. That's why you can't print more money to have more money, because money really doesn't exist. What does exist is this money. It goes around and shifts around. So we have the people who have a huge chunk of it, I'd say a huge chunk of it, and we have people who have a less chunk of it. Now, what do you think everybody wants? Everyone in the universe. You as a person, what do you want? Okay, what does a creative want? What does an entrepreneur want? What does everyone want? In the long run, what everyone wants is the freedom to do whatever we want. Okay, as a creative, I want the freedom to be able to do what I can create, okay, without any restriction. As an entrepreneur, you want to be able to create a business that can get you to relax and the business can function without you. That's freedom. And if all you want to do is just stay home, you want to stay home without anyone interrupting your peace of mind, right? That's what we all want. We all want freedom. But how do you get freedom? You get freedom when you don't have problems, right? So that means you as an individual, if you can solve your problems, then you have peace of mind. Then you have nothing bothering your peace of mind. You want freedom. I want freedom. Everyone wants freedom to be able to do whatever it is that they want to do. So, from the initial phase, we understand that freedom is you not having a problem, which means if you can solve all your problems, then you will have freedom, right? And people here understand that. And people here, they know, but they don't understand the complexities. So, people here understand that if I can solve my problem, then I can have peace of mind. People here think, oh, I just want to get the physical cash, when the physical cash is just an illusion. What you have to do is shift around. If you can shift around and understand that I'm here to solve problem in order to have freedom. So the more problem I solve, the more freedom I can have. Then you can, that's the point where you beat the entirety of the ideology of the physical cash, because the physical cash is what people here give people here, and then they keep having a big chunk being transferred to them. So they give you the physical cash and they have the huge chunk. Have you ever heard of the saying that the spiritual controls the physical? It's kind of like that. Just the way we function as a human being. You as an individual, you stand up, you get off bed, you go to do whatever you have to do. You have your breakfast, you take your kids to school, you go to work, you come back home, and you're able to do all those things. But there are billions of machineries behind you, okay? There is the combination of organs in your body. There is the nervous system with billions of neurons. You know, your brain is functioning, your heart is beating, your bones are functioning, your blood is flowing. All those things need to be in place for you to just get off bed and go to work. But you would think, oh, I'm just getting up off bed, I'm going to work, I'm doing my best, I'm coming back home, I'm sleeping. No, there are billions of things working together to make you function as an individual. The same thing is what happens in the money realm. If you can understand that what happens in the illusional section, you will be less controlled by the physical cash. Now, I want you to ask yourself, how do people get money from you? We've stated one, solving problem. What's the next thing that companies do or people do? What people do to get money from you is fear. When there is fear, you can get money from people. Take, for example, there's an individual that has a whole stack of cash, and someone walks up to him and says, "Can I have the stack of cash?" He'll be like, "No, I'm not going to give you my money," right? But if that same person comes and pulls out a gun and points it towards his head and says, "Let me have that money," without thinking, without any other thought in his head, he hands him over everything and even say, "Oh, I have more money," because he wants to live right. That's fear. That's one aspect of fear. That's the criminal aspect of fear. Now, the second one is what organizations do. For example, an insurance company. So let's say we still have the same individual, and the same individual has a stack of cash and is going home. An insurance company or an insurance agent could tell him, "Oh, where are you going to?" "I'm going home." Do you know that on your way home, there's a possibility of you getting into a car crash? You want to ensure that your money is safe. You want to ensure that your money is protected. You want to ensure that your family is safe and protected in case that you're gone. So there is the actual fear and there is the induced fear. And those are the two ways that people can use to get money from you. Everyone uses the induced fear, not the actual fear. Only criminals use that. You don't want to do that. If you log onto your computer and someone tells you, and you see an antivirus sale, for example, or when you open up your computer, there's a possibility of having computer virus, but our product will protect you from virus, online virus, internet scam, identity theft, and they sell you something. They are using induced or presupposed fear to get money from you. Now, you can fortify yourself against so many things like that by you being knowledgeable and you having a strong mind and a strong ground. And when someone comes to you and sell you something, until you've researched it, you don't say yes to anything. That's one way to get to avoid becoming becoming a prey to people who use induced fear to get money from you. But the nutshell of everything is people here use induced, presupposed fear to get money from these people. So we live in a day and age, because back in the days, it's impossible for people here to even communicate with people here, because it's so many things in between, so many barriers. You will have to go through so many levels of hierarchy and bureaucratic procedures to even be able to communicate with people here. But we live in the day of the internet, whereby you can create a solution to people's problems. And the reason why I'm saying people's problem is because sometimes it's hard for you to solve your own problem. And this is why sometimes when people say something, you kind of listen to them, because when you are in a situation, it's hard for you to see what you're going through. But when you take an external look at it, you can see what you're going through. That's why sometimes it's good to just step back. So when you are in a problem, you can't fix your problem, but you can take an external view at other people's problem and think about a solution to their problem. And hopefully, maybe it becomes a trade of solutions to problem, whereby you fix this guy's problem, they fix yours. So the more problem you can fix from here and market yourself to these people, then you start having a piece of this so-called illusion of money. You're not going for the actual physical money. You're not going for that. You're going for this thing. Even though it's true what they say, that cash is king. You want to have cash, but you also want to dominate this place, this spiritual aspect of money, because that's the most important aspect of money. The physical cash is not as important as this one. You want to pay attention to this. So how do you get here? You need to be able to solve problems. You need to ask yourself, how can I solve these people's problem? How can I be of value to these people? How can I be of value? Not just them though. Everyone along the way. You just want to make sure you are creating value and you're solving people's problems. If you can focus on solving problems, money will take care of itself, because this is always limited. That's why people will work hour, paycheck to paycheck. You have to punch in this. They are always limited because there's a limit to what you could do as a physical individual. There's a limit to how much you can make if you have to go to work and punch in and come back. There's a limit. There's a cap on everything. But you want to focus on value and the invisible aspect, the illusional aspect of money, and solve people's problem. Solve people's problem until you get here, and you keep having a piece of the so-called money, illusional money universe. The physical is good, but you want to focus on this. That's why we have the so-called digital currency, whatever it is, Bitcoin, FTX, NTX, whatever, all these things, or investing in stock, or having a business. One thing that most companies do to keep people here almost in perpetual financial bondage is, like I said, they sell you the pre-assumed fear, the induced fear to get your money, right? And then they don't just get your one-time payment, they get you to subscribe. You subscribe to everything. That's like the greatest financial bondage I've ever seen. There's no one-time payment for anything. You subscribe. You pay monthly bills on everything. You pay monthly bills on your phone. You pay monthly bills on your rent. You pay monthly bills on your applications that used to get your job done. You pay monthly bills on your car. You pay monthly bills on your insurance. There is no one-time payment. You have to keep paying until you die. And that is why you as a person, you need to be able to find a system of value for yourself as well, that you will create and start making you money on monthly basis. So this circle keeps going, because if you're the only one who subscribe to them and no one is subscribed to you, you will always give and give and give and give and give and give and give until there's nothing more to give. You have to play in this illusion game. You need to understand it, that you have to solve problems. And it's good to solve your own problem, but focus on solving other people's problem. I'm a filmmaker, by the way. And one thing that we've learned in the film industry is when we make movies, when you pitch a story you're writing to your family, they'll tell you, oh, it's a good story. It's these, because they're your family. But you want to focus as a filmmaker or as a screenwriter, you focus on strangers. You focus on appealing to strangers. You focus on impressing strangers, because the strangers are the ones that will go and fill the room where they're playing your movie and pay for your movie. Because your family, maybe you have a big family, a family of 70 people, and the theater room has 500 seats. Your family takes 70 seats. They come with their friends, 200 seats. But it's the strangers that will come and fill out the entire room and come back again and come back again. So you want to focus on impressing the strangers. And not impressing in the, where you're impressing by creating value, by solving their problems, by doing things that they were like, oh, this guy can do this. Take this money. I'll pay for your services. You want to focus on that. And that way, you come, because you subscribe to all these people. Everything that they're giving you is a subscription. There's no one time. They're glued to you for the rest of your life. And if you don't want to subscribe, they don't give you their services. So you want people to also subscribe to you. So that way there is because money doesn't grow bigger. It doesn't grow bigger. Money is the same. It's always the same, but it shifts. And the moment you understand the shift, the illusional shift, the moment you understand that, that's when you join the game. So, get yourself in the game.